diversifying our energy sources, including developing more renewables, creating incentives in a free market system to do that, is far and away more effective to achieve what you want to achieve, what I want to achieve, than any kind of government mandates or international treaties that might put a tremendous burden on the American people.
You said that you love driving, but you hate paying the prices for gas. So this goes closely to my heart. I too love driving, but you also talked about the fact that you think we are so fortunate to have gotten this great miracle of the vaccines and how quickly they were developed, which is really like thanks to the great efforts of your administration, but also the scientific community. And the same scientific community has been warning for years about climate change. And so what I would love to hear from you is, I think if you read the literature on this, if you think about the environment, like we all know that eventually we will all have to pay for the damages we create. So as people, if I'm driving a car, a gas-guzzling car as countries, including the US, and I would just love to hear what your thoughts are on this and what the US will do to help overcome this challenge that's the entire human race is facing.
Well, thank you, Frederick. Well, let me say I'm incredibly proud of the conservation tradition of the Republican Party dating all the way back to Teddy Roosevelt. I truly am. And in fact, somebody asked me before the meeting, they said, what are some of the things that you don't think you got credit for? Our administration actually passed into law the largest investment in public land restoration and maintenance in American history to preserve our national parks and to preserve those lands. And so I take a second seat to no one in my commitment to preserving the national world. But with regard to energy and the impact that it has on the issue that you raised, what I don't understand is under our administration, we got out of the Paris Climate Accord because it was a bad deal for America. It required virtually nothing of China. It required virtually nothing of other countries that are producing an enormous amount of CO2 emissions into the atmosphere. So we got out of it. But what you may not know is because of the energy revolution in this country, we reduced our emissions in our 4 years below or at a greater rate than the Paris Climate Accord asked for. And it was because of the development of natural gas and an extraordinary boom economy in the United States in natural gas development. That's why, for the life of me, I couldn't understand why one of the first things President Biden did was shut down the Keystone Pipeline. And while they've offlined new energy production in clean natural gas. It's a loss on me why for decades now we have steered clear of nuclear energy. Now, long before you were born, but a few years after I showed up, there was an accident at a nuclear plant. And we remember what happened in Japan a decade or so ago. And I mean to tell you, you want to find some clean energy. Nuclear energy is clean energy. That's why I can't understand why Germany ended up eliminating all development of nuclear energy, driving the costs of energy up. So what I would just say to you is I think there's a way to have a conversation here. I think we all ought to look to the science always with regard to the climate. I do. I really do. But I think that diversifying our energy sources, including developing more renewables, creating incentives in a free market system to do that, is far and away more effective to achieve what you want to achieve, what I want to achieve, than any kind of government mandates or international treaties that might put a tremendous burden on the American people.